All right, welcome back to the show. Today we have a very exciting guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. My name's EDMARYS, dancer, journalist, um, in the entertainment field for many years now. um, Happy to be here, Joshua. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. How are you today?
I'm awesome. Very productive day, so that's good.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into the field that you're in.
Well, since I was about 5, I started dancing in dance studios. That's how it all started. Um, After a couple of years, I started dancing in school as well. Then, aside from entertainment and shows, performances, I got into the competition world. After winning a couple medals and a couple trophies, then I did in high school. I was also one of the cheerleaders. So everything that had to do with dancing and jumping around, I was there. I also did some acting classes throughout my high school years, as well as pageantry and what else? I also even did choir, I think, for a little bit as well. But it wasn't until college that I decided that I wanted to do something else besides dancing. Um, so at first I didn't know what, and then I realized that aside from dancing, I always loved reading, I always loved writing, and I was like, okay, I love being in front of a camera. I love reading and writing. I guess I'll study journalism. And that's exactly what I did. So I graduated from FIU. I actually graduated in 2020, which was during this whole pandemic. So I wasn't able to actually have a walk, but like a graduation walk. But nonetheless, still proud of myself because I was able to, graduate, even though it was a tough year for everyone. And then around 2017, I started my very own show. It's called Love and Life with EDMARYS. And I would interview artists and musicians and singers and actors. But I would do it more as a hobby. After my graduation as a journalist, that's when I began to pick it up. And I was like, okay, for sure, now this isn't a hobby. Now this is who I am. So my show, now I definitely do it more constantly. Like I try to interview someone weekly, and I have now my own talent corporation, and that's where the dancing continues. So yeah, that's me. That's EDMARYS.
Very cool. So in the retrospect of getting to where you are now, can you tell me about the journey and what it was like to start dancing and then to become a model and become an actress, and what was that like for you? What was that the journey like?
The journey, um, I can say I don't want to say it was very difficult because I don't. At least for me, I didn't see it very difficult. It was just very unclear, which I think many young adults nowadays have that issue because they don't know what they want. Um, but I guess that goes along the way with finding who you are, right? And once you find who you are, your true self, you'll know what you'll want to study. You'll know what you want your career to be. You'll know what you want your future to look like. But all I can say as an advice for that to everyone who is watching and listening to us now is just stay true to yourself, and it'll come along the way. You can't force anything. So that's my advice.
Definitely. I mean, and when you find something that you're passionate about,
Mhm.
the work that goes into it isn't really work. You're having fun while doing it. And I would imagine being a part of so many different things that it not only keeps you busy, but it's got to be fulfilling in multiple different ways.
Right, right. It definitely is. Um Especially at least for me when I know that when I have parents who, weren't born here in the United States, and they always tell you, they had a rough time in their childhood and when they were adolescents, and then they see us being successful and being able to do what we wanted to do, and makes them so happy and proud of us that it makes me proud of myself, and I'm like, wow, I did it, you know. Having parents that weren't able to do what they wanted to study, and then seeing it in their kids is it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine, just from the like an outsider's perspective where I'm trying to transition from my current full-time job to the podcasting thing, it's a lot of hard work, but if
Mhm.
it's something you enjoy doing and you'll just, it's wonderful to do, I know for me myself, I love talking to people. So,
Right.
I
Yeah.
could imagine from your side of things to be able to do the things that you've done, it's not only fulfilling, but it's fulfilling a dream that, like you were saying, your parents may not have had that opportunity, but they're
Mhm.
living vicariously through you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And I think that's the beauty of those who are able to live here in the United States. We have that chance to do anything that we want and be whoever we want to be. So for those who are unsure of what they want, just be true to yourself and it'll come. So
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, can you tell me a little bit about the company that you started and some of the events that you've had and some of the things that you've done? As far as I saw on your Instagram that you've traveled quite a bit. Can you tell me a little bit about that kind of stuff?
yeah, yeah, of course. Well, I love to travel. So I have traveled for fun, and I have traveled for work as well. But when it comes to my corporation, my talent corporation, I created it. It's gonna be like a year. It's about to be a year. Um, I had family tell me a couple years back to create that and to start that corporation a long time ago. I never did. I wasn't like how do I say it? Like I didn't believe in myself then. And I was like, no, I don't think I'll be able to know how to run a corporation like that. I think it's too much work. And with school and this and that, I don't think I can do it. But once you believe in yourself, you're able to do anything that you want. And that's what I did. And that's how I started it. I started it this the beginning of January, I believe it was. So it's about to be a year, and it's been amazing. I have over 200 talents now, um, which is dancers, acrobats, actors, models, any ethnicity, any height, male, female, anything. That depending on what they're looking for, if it's for videos, if it's for concerts or just private events, anything really. Um, and yeah, I've done music videos for like very known artists, private events for like 15s, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, things like that, or like an anniversary of a company. um and yeah, it's been going great. Now I have traveled before, when it comes to other agencies booking me. So even though I do have my corporation and I do have my talent, my 200 talents, I also do the same thing as them with other agencies, because I didn't want to stop dancing. Even though I created my own corporation, I was like, okay, now I can just send various talents to do what I used to do. I myself still haven't stopped. I feel like I probably won't ever stop because I've been dancing since like so long that I think that's always going to be part of me, even though I am now a journalist. I think being a dancer will always be part of it, Maris. So,
So, what was the transition like to go from being a dancer into your current role as, as a CEO, to kind of form your own company and be able to work with the great talents that you've worked with?
um, I think, to be honest, I didn't think of it so much. I just went and did it because I think sometimes, if you think too much of something, you end up not even doing it. And I think that's the risk we all have to take in anything in life, in general. Um, Even though we're not 100% sure about something, if you have the passion for it, if you feel like you know you can do it and you believe in yourself, then you can. And that's exactly what I did. I really didn't put much thought into it. I, like I had mentioned, I had family already telling me, I should have done it a long time ago. And I was like, you know what? Let me do it. I did it, and now we're here. So
And it's one of those things where you just gotta kind of jump in head first and see what happens, because you never know.
right.
You might land on something that you not only enjoy, but that ends up becoming very successful, which it sounds like you're doing very well.
Yeah, thank you. I have, tried to do my best in everything that I put my heart into, and for that, I really have to thank my parents. You know how I've been raised. They've always told me anything that you do it with 100% passion, and if you feel like you don't have that passion, then don't do it because everything that you put your love into will always come out fantastic, will always be great. If you don't put that love and that passion, trust me, it will not be as good as you thought. So
Right. So, as far as some of the people you've worked with, you said that there a lot of them are, or some of them are pretty well known. What was that like to work with people that are of that magnitude, to be able to represent them?
well, I think, as everyone who is meeting someone in that caliber or in that level for the first time, there's always that, like, oh my god, so in the beginning, when I first started meeting artists, I was like a little shocked, maybe a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh my god, I'm meeting this person, I'm meeting that person. But as the years went by, I'm much more comfortable now. I mean, we're all humans, and even though they are at that that other level, it really doesn't make them any much different, just that more people know them, know who they are and what they do. But since I have had the privilege to work with so many known artists who are very humble, it makes everything, or at least the job, so much better, because you can never forget where you come from. And I think working with people who have big hearts, even if they have, as a house way bigger than yours, or like connections much more than what you have, it's beautiful to see that humanity is still in there, and I think that's very important. So
Very much so, and I couldn't agree more. And I unfortunately haven't gotten to that part in the podcast career yet, where I've had big name people, but I have had people on that, you're right, you just have that oh my god moment, and
yeah, yeah,
then you kind of realize what's going on,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and then you
I've,
just
I've
get down to
actually
business.
I've actually oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, then you just get down to business and take care of what you need to take care of.
Yeah, 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 pretty much exactly. I was gonna mention, I've had many famous artists in both fields, Spanish and English. So I think that no matter what culture, and no, if you're humble and you just go there to do something because you're passionate about, and you treat everyone just the same, that's what makes the job much more appealing, much more fun, much more easy to work with people, and everything goes also way faster. I mean, if you work with someone, which it's actually happened to me as well, who maybe go a little bit above and beyond their head because they're in that level, um, they they make sometimes things much more difficult. And then there's people where they're like bothered, hours go past by, and exactly what you came here to do, or what the job was supposed to be, um at the time that was supposed to be done, then it's like triple the hours, and then they don't want to pay. So I understand those moments that are very, very struggling with. But um but yeah, once you meet people who have, that wonderful and humble heart, and do everything with passion, and just doing everything because they actually like it and they love it, then everything goes smooth, and you get so many great new friendships and relationships along the way as well.
Yeah, and I find that is a pretty common thing across the board. Just from my experiences, everybody puts on their shoes the same way that I do,
Right.
and regardless of their stature, you might come across a few bad eggs every once in a while, but for the most part, I'd like to think most people have a really good heart, and they mean well, and they try to help each other out, which is what it's about.
Yeah, I think it's just life that gets in the way sometimes, and some people um start to act different. But in the bottom of everyone's heart, I believe we all want good intentions, we all want to do great things, and we all want to be seen doing great things. But it's just, life, and it's okay, things happen, and we all learn from our mistakes, and that's what experiences are for. So yeah.
Yeah, and from my perspective, just being on the other side of things, it's being where you are, and doing what you are doing, and some of the things you've done. It's one of those things that you just can't replicate, so to
Mhm,
speak, as far as the people that you've met, the experiences you've had. It's a once in a lifetime thing, and we only live once, so take advantage of
mhm.
it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So tell me, I found you on Instagram. Tell me about where they can find your talent agency, where they can find some of your content. That way, our listeners can find you.
Yeah, of course. So, I actually have two Instagram pages. One is where you see the artistic EDMARYS. That's where you see all my modeling and dancing and acting, etc., etc. That page, in the bio section, there is a link that has various other links in that page, where you will see the Facebook page to my program show, Love and Life with Maris, where you will see the YouTube link to all my interviews. Um, and you will also see the link of my TikTok, where I just do funny videos. And then I have this other Instagram, which is all about my show, and that's where I put all the content with everyone that I interview, little recaps, little short videos, photos with everyone that I interview, um, upcoming short videos of who I will be interviewing, etc., etc. And that page, that Instagram page, also has a link in the bio, which also has the link again to the Facebook, to the YouTube, to the TikTok, and all of that good stuff. So my main page as the artist on Instagram is edmarys.tv. It's EDMARYS.tv. And then my journalism and show Instagram page is Vida y Amor con Edmarys, which is Love and Life with Edmarys in Spanish.
Very cool. So, um, tell me a little bit about the your acting. What have you been in?
Oh, I actually studied acting, I want to say, I think around high school, I believe it was. I did it with a couple agencies. I did it with Miguel Said. I also studied with Hector Zabaleta, who passed away. Um, and I believe it was another agency at first with in a place called Taller en Acción here in Miami in Doral with Laura Moro, which is a coach. She's the coach who helped pronunciation and dictation for all the pageantry girls. And I studied it all in Spanish, but since I am bilingual, it helped for, for castings in English and in Spanish. So I remember my very first, I guess it was kind of like an audition. They gave me this role where I had to be like a schizophrenic, and it was super funny because I remember when I showed my parents, they even like got a little bit teary. Even my mom got teary, and she was like, "Do you really feel that way?" And I'm like, "No, mom, it was acting." But thank you. You believed it. That means I did well. And it was super funny. But as jobs go, the very first one I did, it was a short film. And I was a ballet dancer transforming from life, how it you first are a small caterpillar and you transform into a beautiful butterfly. So I was transforming within the dance, and I was able to like let go of all bad obstacles, and I was able to walk instead of jump like the dance in ballet shoes. And then after that I did like two or three commercials. I don't remember exactly right now like what I did, but I know I was one I was like in part of a family. Another one I was part of like a dance crew, and the other one I think I was something like buying something at some store. I remember that commercial. And the most recent one that I did was actually a short film, another short film in Spanish, where I was able to act as a nurse. It was actually recently, like a month ago or 3 weeks ago, something like that. And it was amazing because it had been a while that I did any acting. After those commercials, I kind of like stopped, and I was focused on my show so much that I wasn't acting. And when they gave me this role, I was moved because I was like, wow, I just found that acting in Maris, that actress in Maris once again. And it felt so good learning lines and being able in front of the camera and being a different character, that it really made me happy and think of like, you know when I first started. So I think what's funny is that I when people ask me, who's in Maris, what does she do, who is she, I always say dancer and journalist. But I've done so many things in the arts that sometimes I want to be like, and model and actress and singer and this and that. But it's because I really love everything that has to do with the arts, and it also my family, like my mom, she also has a radio show. My dad always loved to draw. My sister likes to sing. Like we all love the arts. So it's like kind of in my blood. But
Yeah.
definitely, yes, I'm the journalist who dances.
So what's next for you? What do you think the future holds for you as far as the things you're done and the things you want to do in the future?
Well, there are a little bit of surprises. I'm not gonna say much, but you guys have to follow and subscribe and all that good stuff so you guys can see. But right now I really am just focused on my show. I want to bring it up, um have more people be part of my show, and try to just focus on that and my corporation, and then see where life goes with that. But there is like one or two little small projects that may be not so little, but they are little surprises, and I guess people would have to follow to see what they are.
So we're just gonna have to watch and
Yes.
see. I love spoilers, or not spoilers, surprises.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy
Thank
schedule
you.
to talk with me
It was
today.
really fun.
It's been a real
It
pleasure.
was really fun. Thank you for having me. I really love it when people invite me to do interviews because I'm usually the one giving the interviews. So being on the other side is always like, oh hey, yeah, you can also ask me questions. Okay. So I like it. It's very, and plus the your show is very entertaining, like your podcast. I have seen a couple, and everyone is like so
Thank
different,
you.
and I love it. So thank you for having me once again.
Thank you very much for that. Absolutely. I hope we can meet
Yes,
again.
just let me know and I'll be there.
Sounds good. I hope you have a good rest of the afternoon and good luck in the future. And sounds like the future is bright for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joshua. Likewise, blessings and success your way as well. And of course,
Thank
we
you
have to
very
say
much.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year because it's around the corner.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.